Howdy y'all, Prepper Pam here. Since the holidays are coming up, I thought I'd show you how I do my cranberry sauce. And you can do this, you don't have to can it if you don't want to. You just cook it up and you put it on the table or you set it in the fridge to cool. And you can make it anywhere. You can make it when you're camping. It's super, super easy to make. I'm going to make it chunky. I'm not going to make the gelled. I'm going to make the chunky. I have gelled in my pantry right now. So anyway, I'm going to be cooking this up here. It's one of the most simplest things you've ever done. And the taste is so much better. The store-bought cranberry sauce has a little bit of tartness to it. You can make this any way you want. If you like it a little sweeter, you can add more sugar. You can also add honey. You can also add fake sugar, which I do not do, but people do use, like the stevia or whatever it's called. So anyway, I have two 2-pound bags, and I'm going to be putting them in the pot. Okay, so I got them in the pot. I have them in a large Revereware stock pot. So this is 4 pounds of cranberries, and I just kind of went through them really quickly, just to make sure that they were all clean and there was no, mushy ones or anything like that. So if there might be a few stems that I missed, but it's not going to hurt you. So what I do, I cover it. Oops, I need more water. So I cover it with water. Let me see here. Okay, so I don't measure anything when it comes to making cranberry sauce. I go by taste. So you want the cranberries covered, and I can see that they're not quite covered. So I'm going to be adding more water. That should be okay. Yeah, that's perfect. Because they're going to float anyway. So it's a lot of water, but it's 4 pounds of berries, and it does soak up the water. So I'm going to turn this on probably, I don't know, I'll turn it on to like 5. You don't want to boil them. You don't want to boil them. You just want to cook them slow so they pop. About 15 minutes. There's a little stem right there. The noise you're hearing in the background, we have a house full of baby chicks. And, yeah, they've been lovely. Anyway, that's a different story. So, anyway, yeah, but the noise you're hearing, the little chirping, that's... We have a bunch of baby chickens. So anyway, I'm going to let these go for about 15 minutes. They'll start to pop. And then I'll add the sugar to taste after they all start popping. And I'm going to get the seals and the rings going right now. Okay, so the cranberries have been going about 20 minutes or so. I have them on 5 on my electric stove. So I'm going to use... So now that they're getting soft, I'm going to use my immersion blender just to kind of chop them up a little bit. And we'll see. This blender is like on its last leg. I need to get a new one. It just cuts it up a little bit, makes it a little bit more creamier. You don't have to use an immersion blender. You don't have to use anything at all. You can keep it the way it is. There we go. Now, okay. Okay. I cooked this down. And I've added my sugar to taste. So I don't measure anything with this, so let me tell you what I did. I had 4 pounds of cranberries. I put them in a large stock pot, my Revereware stock pot. I covered them with water, and I boiled them on about 5 or 6 on my electric stove. They did not come to a full boil. They just were, they were pretty hot. They were popping. So you want the berries to pop. So I used my immersion blender, and then it died because I've had it way too long. So then I started using my masher, my potato masher, which works just as well. And then I started adding the sugar. Now, I don't know how many cups of cranberries this was. I'm going to guess and say between 10 and 12 cups. And that's a rough guess. So I put in 3 cups of sugar, and it was still pretty tarty. And I ended up putting in about 4.5 to 5 cups sugar. That's just what we like. If you want it sweeter, you add what you like. And you get it all incorporated. So now it's ready to go. If you could taste this, you guys would just be shocked. This is just so good. It's, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I'm going to start putting this into the jars. And then I'm going to hot bath, I'm going to hot bath it. For my elevation, it's 20 minutes. Okay. So I'm just going to start ladling it into the jars. I'm using pint jars. I should probably do a quart jar because we will eat it at Thanksgiving, but we will see. Oh, this is just absolutely beautiful. Just beautiful. Look at that color. Oh my. Beautiful. So if you were not going to can this, if you just wanted to cook it up that morning of Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever you want to do, you would just leave it like this. And then you would put it, in a bowl and put it in the fridge and let it cool. That's all you do. But to can it to use, during the rest of the year, like, you have leftover turkey. And I always buy more than one turkey because we like turkey throughout the year. And you have to have cranberry sauce, with the sandwiches. And you don't feel like running to the store. You've got your cranberry sauce. So, you could make it for that day that you're going to use it. But then maybe, cook a couple jars extra. Just set them aside if you've never done it before. It's super easy. So I'm going to finish putting it into the jars. And then I'll show you how to do it. It's so easy. Oh my. And sometimes I put a little bit of orange zest in it. It really adds like a really nice zing to it. But this time I did not. It was just pure cranberries. Okay, so I'm not using my huge water bath pan. I'm just using the same pan that I cooked the cranberry sauce in. I don't feel like getting my big one down. Just doesn't matter what pan you use, as long as you have the jars covered by at least an inch of water. So I got a whole case. I got a whole case of pints of cranberry sauce, chunky cranberry sauce. So I'm going to put it in here. I'm only going to be able to do probably 6 jars. Okay, so I got 5 jars in. Got it on high. Once it starts boiling, I'm going to put the lid on. And then you just let it go for 20 minutes. That's it. Then you turn it off and you take the jars out. It's that super simple. All right, the first batch is done. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look how pretty. My, 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 my. Okay, so I have all the cranberry sauce done. I made chunky cranberry sauce. Let me go over really quick how I did it. It's super simple. If you've never made it before, don't freak out. I used 2 large packages, which was 4 pounds. I put them in a big pan, covered them with water, let them cook down till they all popped and they were all squishy. Then I added sugar to taste. Whatever you could add, your fake sugar, whatever you want. And then I cooked it a little bit longer. Then I put it into the pint jars, and I sterilized the seals and the rings, put them on, and then in the same pot that I made the cranberry sauce, I washed it out and I used that as my hot bath. I just didn't feel like getting out my big hot bath today. So it only held about 5 jars a batch. So I put them in there. It doesn't matter what kind of pan you use, as long as you can cover the jar by at least 1 inch of water. That's it. So you get the water going. You put the jar in the water. You put the lid on the pot. You turn it on. You get it to boil. Once it starts boiling, you start your timer for 20 minutes for pints. So for my elevation, because I'm 4,000 elevation. So anyway, I didn't lose any jars. They all sealed. Look at this. This is absolutely beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Oh, there goes my last ping. Anyway, this was super, super easy. For those of you who buy canned cranberry sauce, please give this a try. It's so easy. And you know, you have a emergency turkey sandwich problem and you have no cranberry sauce, you'll have a little bit of jars, you know, in your pantry. So anyway, a lot of people don't think that, you know, making cranberry sauce is a prepper thing, but you know, you can make it when you're camping. You can cook it over the stove and make it while you're camping also too. Or when you're, you know, out and about, if you find cranberries, you can whip it up. So anyway, if you have any questions, email me. I hope you make it, and I hope it turns out beautiful. Always be prepared. You never know what is going to happen. And if you have any questions, let me know. Prepper Pam out.